If I told you why you weren't living in freedom, would you want to know that answer? And if I told you how you could do that, would you want to know that answer? This is Father Mark Toups over at Christ the Redeemer Catholic Church in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Welcome you back to our podcast series, where this week we are choosing to live in freedom. And on this Tuesday, I want to share with you my experience of being at a whole lot of funerals. In my life, I have had the privilege in 17 years of priesthood of being invited into people's lives at some of the most sacred moments of their life. The time when life is born, the time when life is baptized, and the time when life is surrendered to the Lord at the time of a funeral. As I recall the first time that I myself had to deal with the very profound moment of death, I remember people telling me lots of things, and some of them sounded like, and maybe you've heard this, just give that to God. And if you've ever tried to do that, if you've ever tried to give that to God, whatever that is, whatever the thing in your life is that you're struggling to surrender, or if that's where the unfreedom is, if you've ever tried to give that to God, more than likely you wouldn't be listening to this podcast and you wouldn't be asking yourself, why didn't that work? Because the reason that you and I are listening to podcasts like this is because that didn't work. We struggled to give it to God because of something that was beyond us. And the reason that we hold on to unfreedom is what we'll unpack, especially on Thursday and Friday. But for today, let me offer you another way that we can approach our desire for freedom. Instead of giving it to God, maybe we can give God permission to come in. In other words, when you and I are trying to give it to God, there's a lot of pressure on us to do the giving. There's a lot of pressure on us to figure out why we're holding on to it. And it's almost as if there's an accusation toward the very emotions in our hearts surrounding the unfreedom that we need to get rid of it. Our God is a God of relationship. We're built for relationship. And I'm going to make a bet with you right now that if there's a place in your life where you are unfree, that's the place in your life where God is not in relationship with you there. It's probably a place in our life where we've isolated ourselves or made decisions to live life on our own. But instead of giving it to God, how about today you just give God permission to come in to that area of your heart for relationship. Here's our homework as we continue to pray through things this week. Last night we asked you to take a look at the things in your heart where you needed it to be free. And today, as you do your homework, ask yourself if God can come into that place. Just invite him in. No matter what you fear he might say, or no matter what you fear he might find, invite God into that place in your heart so that he can give you the freedom that you can long for. And come back tomorrow as we talk about what we can do once we find the Lord there. But for now, give God permission. God, I give you permission into my heart. And until we have that conversation tomorrow, God bless you.